Well, I think this was a game of two halves. I thought that we played really solid in the first half, and yet I thought we left some points on the board. We had some shots blocked, and we had opportunities to be up more than we were at the first half. But I thought our defense was very stout and tough-minded. And I think in the second half, we gave up a flurry of offensive rebounds. Every time it came down to it, they got an offensive rebound. I thought we missed a number of shots at the rim in the second half, their offensive rebounds, and then I thought we had some inexplicable fouls. They're just so far away from the basket. Joey McLean had one, Tom Vodanovich had one, Paul Yasakis had one, and all of them turned into points. So that combination of missed assignments on the glass, fouls away from the basket, and missed shots at the rim, that equaled not a good half. And they're a good team. You can't give them that many opportunities. We did, and they won.
You talked about the rebounding a little bit. Was the second half a bit of an example of playing zone backfiring a little bit?
Well, what hurt us in the zone in the second half is they moved the ball. They were much more comfortable in the second half than they were in the first half. The ball was moving. It's a very good passing team, and they moved the ball great. They made some threes, and it really didn't matter if we were in man or zone. They got a number of offensive rebounds. Sometimes they out-toughed us for them. Some of them, they were air balls. I mean, they got 3 offensive rebounds on air balls with the guy who was just under the basket. Those are not plays. You can't, there's nothing you can do about those kind of plays. But literally 3 air balls end up being 3 offensive rebounds. But I'm disappointed in some of the things we talk about and try and teach and try and get these guys to understand. I think fouls, 30 feet from the basket, that you can't do that. And we did that a number of times. Going for shot fakes. Can't do that because you're going to get driven at this level. And then obviously the glass, it's going to be a big deal until we get it figured out.
Nation, only had 9 points, that's something like 2 of 9 shooting. Had the foul trouble where you basically sat him for 10 straight minutes. Did you feel like he was ever in the flow of the game?
No, this certainly wasn't one of his better games. And like I keep saying to Andre, if teams are going to play off of him, then he's going to have to find ways to use his athletic ability, to slice off of cuts or offensive rebounds. There's going to be opportunities for him to get too closer to the rim. And I thought one time in the second half, he took a very, very difficult 3 off the bounce, which I thought was, we were down 5 or 6, and he took a very difficult shot off the dribble. It's exactly the shot that Northeastern wants him to shoot. I mean, so you got to be smarter than that's for sure.
You talk about moments that can, define your season one way or the other. The High Point game was one. I mean, do you look at this 10-point lead against the preseason favorites and can't help but wonder when this game will?
Well, I look at this as an opportunity that we let get away, and it's a golden opportunity. If you can look at the season in quarters, in 4-game segments at the end of this week, you have a chance to be 3-0 after tonight, and maybe 4-0 on Saturday, or 3-1. If you lose on Saturday, 3-1 at the quarter mark after 2 home and 2 road, that's pretty good. Now you don't want to be 2-2, so we've got to go to work and figure out a way to get a win. But I look at it as every game is a unique entity. And we had a golden opportunity, and we let it slip away. And it was really, I thought, because of, I thought that we made a number of mistakes. And whether that's inexperience or lack of toughness or lack of following the game plan, whatever you want to call it. But hopefully there's certainly room for growth with this team.
So guys like Andre and Ron looked like they were struggling a bit, maybe because there were also different guys on the floor at any given moment. Seems like there were a lot of changes in the second half there.
Yeah, no, I think Ron and Andre got to play better. That's the bottom line. There are two guys that got all conference votes. You certainly need those guys to be productive, and I don't think they were terribly productive tonight. I think they certainly play with energy. I thought that they played hard, but at the other end, we need those guys to be productive, and they weren't. And all that being said, not getting a lot of productivity out of those 2 guys, and you still have opportunity if you're playing smarter. To be right where you want to be. We just didn't put it together. We didn't play smart, and we didn't have a lot of productivity. I thought we had a lot of shots. Winston Graves had a ball at the rim. Jackson had a ball at the rim. Ron had a ball at the rim. We had a lot of balls at the rim. We missed those shots too. I mean, to beat a really good team, you got to make plays, and we didn't make nearly enough plays to win this game.
There was a moment there in the first half where you and Mike Dean really got on Jackson Kent. What was that all about?
Well, Jackson's got to come up with loose balls, and that's the bottom line. I mean, we're a team that needs to come up with those. All those plays are critical, And you need to lay out on the floor and come up with loose balls. You just need to come up with it. You can't have the ball as a guard. You can't have the ball go through your hands. I think sometimes it happens to forwards, and you kind of understand it. They didn't really see the game was a little too fast. But our guards need to come up with loose balls. Jackson's one of them. You need to come up with them. You need to dive on them. You need to figure out a way to come up with those plays. And, that's happened to Jackson a number of times, and we need him to make those plays.
With all that being said, though, judging by your demeanor, it seems like you would say this loss was more about poor execution than lack of effort.
Yeah, I don't think our effort was fine. We just did some things that we coach every day in practice. I think it's fouling, it's a block out, and again, give them credit. They're a good offensive rebounding team, but we got to do a better job of blocking out. You got to make your free throws. You got to stay down on the shot fakes, which we didn't. We gave up baseline drives against the zone. You got to come up with loose balls. We didn't come up with enough of them, and this team has got to get better coming up with loose balls. We're going to be in a lot of close games just like this, and those kinds of things you got to get better at. And this team can. I mean, that's the one thing I take out of this is that we could have won this game had we just done, those fundamental parts of the game better and done it to a higher level. Loose balls, stay down on shot fakes, make your free throws. Ball game, and so, they did it and we didn't. And that's, a little bit more experience on their side, but we're at home, and that's a game we feel like we could have won.
Knowing that it's hard to get road wins, especially in conference play, what's at the top of your priority list between now and Saturday?
Well, we're going to show them the mistakes we made tonight on film. We'll show it to them tomorrow before practice, and then we'll do the scouting report, and then we'll practice for an hour and 30 minutes. We'll go through all their sets, and we're going to have to do a better job of being patient, on offense and controlling the tempo of the game. I still think that this is a group, for whatever reason, at home, they get very excited about trying to make plays. And, we were much better in the first half when we were really sharing the ball and making the extra pass. In the second half, we didn't do that nearly as well. So we've got to control tempo, and the way you do it is, share the ball and pass the ball and screen and cut and keep sharing the ball. And we got to get better at that on the offensive end. Okay? Thanks, guys.